Dear students, in today's fourth video of the poem A Thing of Beauty from the core textbook Flamingo of class 12, I will give you the explanation of the various literary devices used in this poem. Let us begin. The first literary device used in the poem is metaphor. A metaphor, as you know, is a figure of speech that makes an implicit, implied, or hidden comparison between two things that are unrelated. यानी ये दोनों चीज़ें unrelated होती हैं, इनका कोई direct relation नहीं होता है, but which share some common characteristics. Metaphors are used to dramatize thoughts, to emphasize and elevate the expression to a higher intensity. Example number one. Jack was fishing for compliments. In the real sense, Jack cannot be casting a lure to catch compliments from a river. It just means he was looking for compliments. Number two. John was so hungry that he could eat a horse. In the real sense, it means he was extremely hungry and he could eat a lot of food, but not a whole horse. Number third, the sun is a golden ball. In the real sense, one cannot throw and play with a golden ball that the sun is. So यहाँ सिर्फ कंपैरिजन है. तो हकीकतन एक इंसान गोल्डन बॉल को नहीं फेंक सकता है या इसके साथ नहीं खेल सकता है, तो क्योंकि ये गोल्डन बॉल का कंपैरिजन किसके साथ किया गया है? सन के साथ. सो दिस इज एन एग्जांपल ऑफ मेटाफर. नाउ वी विल look at some examples of metaphors that have been used in the poem A Thing of Beauty. So let us see these examples. Metaphors used in the poem A Thing of Beauty. Number one, bower, which means a calm, pleasant shade. Sweet dreams, happy dreams. Flowery band, to bind us to earth. Pall, a cloth covering or a cloud of dust, smoke. Endless fountain of immortal drink, a shower of blessings of good health. The next device that has been used in the poem is alliteration. Alliteration is the occurrence of the same letter at the starting of two or more words in a single line in a poem. Now, examples. The slender smiling girl. S sound, slender and smiling at the beginning of these two words. The song of sweet birds. Song and sweet. S sound at the beginning of these words. Black bug bit a bear. B sound. Black bug a bit bear. Practice the piano. P sound. What are the uses of alliteration? It creates a rhythm similar to rhyming words. Number two, it emphasizes the importance of phrases. And number three, mostly used in tongue twisters. So this was about alliteration. Now we will look at the examples of alliteration used in this poem A Thing of Beauty by John Keats. Now let us see. Alliteration used in the poem A Thing of Beauty. A flowery band to bind us to the earth. B sound. Spite of despondence of the inhuman dearth. D sound. Some shape of beauty moves away the pall. S sound. From our dark separators such the sun, the moon. S sound. Trees old and young, sprouting a shady boon. S sound. For simple sheep and such are daffodils. S sound. That for themselves a cooling covert make. Here, that and them, the sound. Cooling covert C sound. gains the hot season, the midst forest break. The same sound, rich with a sprinkling of pat musk rose blooms, R sound. So this was about alliteration. Now another poetic device used in the poem A Thing of Beauty is imagery. Now imagery means using imaginative language to represent objects, actions, and ideas in such a way that it appears to our physical senses. The physical senses, we know eyes, ears, nose, skin. So, your movement. A writer helps the reader to visualize, to see in their minds what is being described. The images should appeal to one or more of the five senses: sight, hearing, touch, taste, or smell. Now we will see images used in the poem. Examples. Number one, it was dark and dim that night. Dark and dim. The words dark and dim are visual images that appear to our eyes. The kids were screaming and laughing in the classroom. Screaming and laughing appeal to our sense of hearing that appeal to our ears. Rani whiffed the fragrance of the fresh rose blossoms. Whip and fragrance evoke our sense of smell that appeal to our nose. So these are examples of imagery. Now what are the uses of imagery? The concept is made easier to understand as the reader visualizes it. तो रीडर को ये महसूस होता है जैसे वो कोई चीज़ देख रहा है, कोई आवाज़ सुन रहा है, तो कोई चीज़ सूंघ रहा है नाक से, या किसी चीज़ को वो महसूस कर रहा है. इट मेक्स द कंसेप्ट ईजियर टू रिमेंबर. तो इसे याद रखने में भी आसानी होती है. नाउ इमेजरी used in the poem A Thing of Beauty. A flowery band to bind us to the earth. A flowery band. We see flowers here. Some shape of beauty moves away from the pole. A movement. From our dark spirits, such the sun, the moon. फिर visual imagery है. Trees old and young, sprouting a shady boon. Again visual. With the green world they live in and clear rills. Green world, visual. That for something, some themselves, a cooling covert make, or rich with a sprinkling of fair musk rose blooms, an endless fountain of immortal drink, or pouring unto us from the heavens brink. These are all examples of imagery. Now, symbolism. What is symbolism? Symbolism is a literary device that uses symbols, be the words, people, marks, locations, or abstract ideas to represent something beyond the literal meaning. The concept of symbolism is not confined to works of literature. Symbols inhabit every corner of our daily life. For instance, the colors red, white, and blue typically symbolize patriotism, in America at least, which is why they are the favored hues of political yard signs. Colors like orange and brown connote fall, which is why they adorn so many Thanksgiving decorations. Road signs, logos, and emojis are other examples of symbolism. The visuals correspond to ideas, companies, or moods. So now we clearly understand that symbolism is a literary device that uses symbols. Symbols का इस्तेमाल किया जाता है. These symbols can be words, they can be people, they can be marks, they can be locations, or they can be abstract ideas, and they represent something beyond the literal meaning. तो उनका जो अपना मानी होता है उससे अलग उनका मानी भी हो सकता है. लिटरल मीनिंग तो होता ही है, लेकिन इसके अलावा उनका figurative meaning भी होता है. Now examples of symbolism or symbols used in the poem A Thing of Beauty. Simple sheep refers to mankind as Christ is considered the shepherd who leads human souls out of the dark world of sins and temptations. Now another poetic device used in the poem is transferred epithet. Now transferred epithet refers to a figure of speech in which the adjective or epithet is transferred from a person to a thing to which it does not really belong. यानी जो पर्सन की क्वालिटी है उसको वहाँ से किसी दूसरी चीज़ की तरफ ट्रांसफ़र किया जाता है, तो इसको हम कहते हैं ट्रांसफर एपिथेट. फॉर एग्जांपल, तो यहाँ ये अच्छी तरह आपको समझ आएगा. We spent a sleepless night. The children had a joyous ride. In the first example, we spent a sleepless night. We were sleepless. Not the night. यानी हम sleepless थे, night sleepless नहीं थी. So the quality of sleepless is transferred from we, यानी from persons, to night, to this thing. Such a figure of speech is known as a transferred epithet. यानी यहाँ ये human quality है sleepless, इसको ट्रांसफ़र किया गया दूसरी चीज़ की तरफ, यानी नाइट की तरफ. तो नाइट तो स्लीपलेस नहीं थी, हमारे लिए स्लीपलेस थी. सो दिस कॉल्ड ट्रांसफर्ड एपिथेट. नाउ एग्जाम्पल फ्रॉम द पोएम. Number 1, gloomy days. Another example used in the poem is unhealthy and over darkened ways. So these are examples of transferred epithet. Now enjayment. B is silent here. So in enjayment. Now what is enjayment? Enjayment is a term used in poetry to refer to lines that end without punctuation and without completing a sentence or clause. तो लाइन किसी punctuation के बगैर ख़त्म हो जाती है तो ये continue हो जाती है. When a poet uses enjayment, he or she continues a sentence beyond the end of the line into a subsequent line or lines. Enjayment is also sometimes thought of as the running of a thought beyond a line or stanza without a syntactical break. This is opposite of an end-stopped line in which a line ends in the same place. A sentence or clause ends with terminal punctuation. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Its loveliness increases. It will never pass into nothingness, but still will keep a bower quiet for us and asleep, full of sweet dreams and health and quiet breathing. These are lines from John Keats' poem, and you may hear these are the lines from A Thing of Beauty, as A Thing of Beauty is an excerpt from Endymion. As you can see, lines 2, 3, and 4 are incomplete. So these are incomplete lines. The poet continues them in the next line, making it a classic example of an example of classic enjayment. So this example of enjayment. Here lines 2, 3, and 4 are incomplete, and these are continued by poet John Keats in the next line. So these are examples of enjayment. With this we conclude today's lesson. Have a nice day.